Hey everybody, welcome to the weekend vid. What we will see is, first starting with the futures, we do have a little bit of a gap down with some news coming out about the AI and China stuff. So let's get Tellus to be looking at the chips and AI stocks next week. But we'll see how that works out. Still inside a week to start off, so I'm chopping them up. Might get some broadened information in there to start the week. And we got FOMC later this week, so you just got to be aware of that. So not that we won't trade, but we'll be aware that maybe a lot of things will start inside. We want to see how many things are reversing on Monday on a weekly basis, because that will tell us, are they selling everything into the FOMC with all the news or not? Still inside quarter, yes. If we go to the NASDAQ, having some issues, you can see the 3-2 expansion and down they go. Still an inside week, but closer to 2 down. And if we go on the 60s or 30s in here, they're chopping them up in this mother bar. So how are we going to get out of this thing? That's our question. If we go to the Dow Jones, you're going to see not as bad, right? It's not going to affect them as much with the news. And if we go to the small cappers, similarly, not as bad, not affecting them as much with that news. So really it's your tech stuff. We'll see. That being said, going into this week, on the gappers are likely to have all the AI stocks and chip stocks on there, and we'll see what they do. We got a lot of those setups in the weekly setups, because a lot of these will probably open as 2 weeks. So we'll be watching all of these names here, and most of the analysis is going to look the same. We got SMH. You're going to see top of the broadening formation. Then we may start as a gap, so be aware of that. If they still want to keep selling it, though, we got range to come back there. And you could get that outside quarter, take these guys out. So we will be watching that. We got NVIDIA, be the 2 week. And we're going to switch over to the month here. Month has already hit magnitude, so maybe they get the outside, right? See, it's going to be opening 135 pre-market, at least as of now. Probably going to get worse. We'll see. I want to just get this list up here so everyone can look at it. If we go and look at then the rev strats, there's not many, but for Monday's trading, this is what I'm going to be watching. CL, the 2 day below this, 87.45. Which could trigger the rev strat week below 86.91 with an inside month down in force, and I believe the quarter 2 down as well. And a target at 85.68, I believe. We'll have all those chips. We can take a look quick. You can see LSCC, the rev strat, potentially back through the triangle. Depending on that news, we'll see what comes of it. Let's go look something around the long lines of that. Like so. See AVGO, maybe the 2 week back down. They have been chopping them up a bit in here, but if that were to work, we would take the lows of that mother bar out more than likely. So could be watching that. It's like 233 in the overnight trading. AVGO, oops. Microchip. You see the rev strat weak. It's one of the weaker chips. See this? The year is 3-2 down below 55.27. So if that re-breaks and takes the year down, maybe these guys get bigger issues. Which reminds me of AMD. Maybe the 2-2-2 week. We will throw it on the list. And then outside of the chips, WBA could become the 2-2-2, the hammer week into full time frame continuity. It's at the bottom of the big triangle in here. Still an inside year, so we'll be aware of that. But starting off as a 2 quarter this year, so maybe that gets better. And then with the yearly macro videos, VRSN, the hammer week for the 2 down, 2 up reversal. What would this confirm? It would confirm the rev strat year above 209.61. You say they went after Friday to set that up on the 2 day. If we go to the inside weeks, you see a lot of energies, XLE inside, XOP inside. OIH inside. Tells us to look at CVX inside. XOM inside. Pivot machine gun if it breaks down and stays. And then LNG. It's one of the higher volatility names. You see inside as well. And you got some triangle that you're working with here. Potentially pivot machine gun these guys. And maybe they'll be weak enough to take these guys out. With a 3 to go into Monday. And then we have a few high vol names. ARRY, the 3-1. It's more of a penny stock, so they're kind of digging in the trash here. But if that works, it'd trigger the 2 quarter. And the month is 3-2-2 with a magnitude to 779. So, at worst, maybe we can make 8% on some shares. This would be the thought there. And if it wants to keep going, it does. EIX, you have some pretty high volatility. You can see they started off in the utilities RevStrat week down this year. Now the inside week, potentially measured move, bright red month, could get redder. Got an inside day for Monday. And the quarter, inside quarter down. You can see they pivot machine gun all these guys. So they already got a lot of them out. But on the year, still a 2-2 year. We still have some nearby pivots down in here, 53.92. Potentially we take that stuff out, and then maybe we want to take the other side of that range still, 43.63. And, you know, if you don't like trading this type of stuff, so be it, right? Trade some other stuff this week. We're going to have a lot of gaps on Monday to play off of, and they will be weekly gaps. So we'll be aware that maybe you get turned around Tuesday, right? And things really get going, but with the Fed, right? That will decide the fate. If we go to BMY from last week, we talked about this. Is that a reclaim after 4 weeks inside? It is. Is this something we look for? The 322? It is. Above 56.74. Do we look for the 222 reversal? We also do that. So you can see up they go. Still trying to trigger the 2-2 year. So you can see that weekly worked. That daily worked. RevStratting the month. If that sets up 1-2-2 or goes 1-3 to go 3-2 next month, we'll have the year going. And we have the healthcare is pretty strong to start. We got a Philip Morris. Is the 3-2-2 something we look for? It is. Of 122.19. You're going to see this. Green on the year. 2 going 3 month. Is it reclaiming a mother bar after 2 months inside? It is. Is that something we look for? Absolutely. So we're going to look for these to continue. And those were really the two that I had some focus on to start off the week. If you're looking at things like GSK, could also still continue. It just wasn't that as strong last week. So we like the long red and green bars. Right? Could get going. We'll see. Outside of that, I don't have too much I want to add here this week besides, watch those chips, see how they react to that news, and we'll have the Fed coming out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a good rest of your night.